Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another AITA story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for tricking my husband into eating the food I cooked by making him think his mom sent it? My husband, Mickey, loves his mom's cooking. He always praises her for the food she makes and even mentioned it in his groom speech at the wedding. That's red flags. I consider myself a good cook. In fact, I'm going to just say that I'm even better than his mom. But the problem is he doesn't even want to try my cooking or give me a chance to prove it. I thought this would change after marriage, but 5 months later, nothing's changed. What does he eat if he's not eating what I'm cooking? He has requested that his mom send him a meal every day to eat for dinner after getting off work, except for the weekend where we go over to her house to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert there. There we go. Every single day he'd come home and ask if his mom sent him a meal. I grew irritated by this, and whenever I tried to offer him to taste any of the wasted food I cook, he'd lay in bed and say he's full. So I came up with an idea. I cooked him the same meal his mom sent that day and put it aside till he got home. He asked if his mom sent a meal for dinner, and I said yes and served him my own version of the meal, not hers. He didn't notice anything different. He ate the whole thing with no hesitation while I sat across from him asking questions about how good the meal was. He went on praising it, saying how perfect, exceptional it was, and how it was just what he needed after a long day at work. I smiled and said, "You're welcome." He froze and looked at me for a minute, looked down at the plate and then back at me and said, "Wait, you made this, didn't you?" I said, "With my own hand and from scratch." His face suddenly went red and he got upset and said this was not cool. I told him he never even gave me a chance to show him how good my cooking is and that he's probably just used to his mom's cooking and is rejecting any other alternatives, which is unfair to me. He said that I shouldn't have lied to him and basically tricked him into eating food that he has no idea where it came from. I said he liked it and admitted that it was good. So what's the issue? He got up from his seat, threw the napkin, and said that I was unbelievable and then walked out. He got quiet the rest of the evening and then posted about it on his Facebook in a vague post about being tricked into eating someone's food like that. I felt guilty and bad, thinking maybe I really shouldn't have done this, but I was frustrated with how he kept turning down every meal I tried to cook him and then say, "No thanks, I prefer my mom's food." Am I the asshole? We're just going to do this instead of words. We'll just be giving this, and this, and this, and this. Dude, okay, here's my question. The question was, am I the astronaut for tricking my husband into eating the food I cooked by making him think his mom sent it? No. You are not the asshole for trying to make the man you married try your food instead of mommy's one time. They've been married for 5 months and that's it. Isn't this something that you would probably have known about before getting married? And if so, I would think that that would be enough of a red flag at that time to where you'd be like, okay, I love you, I want to marry you, but we got to address this one thing before we go through with this, because this is some teat-latched Oedipus level bullshit that isn't gonna fly. It's just not gonna fly, brozo. I get preferring your mom's cooking. I understand that. You grew up on it after all. You've experienced it longer. You've developed a taste around it. I understand. However, in my opinion, it is extremely disrespectful to your wife to just not even give it a chance and to just automatically knock her down a peg and say, "There's no way you're gonna be as good as my ma." Ma, the meatloaf! The better meatloaf than my wife's! Automatically just kick her down and say, "No, you're not going to be as good as my mom cooks it. So therefore, I will eat nothing but my mother's food every day for the rest of my life, except for, well, nope, including weekends too. But instead of her sending a meal over on those days, we're going to go over there and eat 3 meals 2 days on the weekend." The one thing in all of this that feels like it maybe might make it okay-ish, kind of, not really, but a little bit more, is that if there's some kind of dietary need or restriction that she knows how to make all the ingredients to work around. In that case, wife could do the same thing and would do the same thing, would want to do the same thing. I don't think that's the case, otherwise it would have been mentioned here, right? It's just a preference. He likes mommy's food better. But when you get married, you're officially saying to the world, "I'm a grown-ass man now." And the person that you are agreeing to respect and love for the rest of your life deserves your respect and love for the rest of your life. This feels like misdirected love, does it not? It feels like love that should should be directed to his wife, an appreciation that should be directed to his wife that is only focused on his mom, like the Eye of Sauron that is just beaming with this intensity that is really awkward. And that's why I'm like, how did they get married in the first place? She had to have known about this in the first place, right? Surely. She has sent a meal every effing day for the 5 months they've been together and before. Unless he went directly from living at home with mom straight to living with his wife after getting married, which isn't unreasonable given this situation. I'm guessing mommy packs a lunch for him as well. Because if he is this latched onto it and won't even eat his wife's food, he probably isn't going to eat from anywhere else going out, which makes me think there's some kind of dietary restriction, but it would have been mentioned. This is madness, though. To me, this is extremely disrespectful. It is extremely juvenile, or there's something else going on. Like this could be some kind of psychological preference that really drills into an obsession in this area. There's something deeper going on here. I just don't know what it is, but it is enough of a red flag to where I would have expected OP to address this before agreeing to marry this man. There's no way that she didn't know it ahead of time, right? I mean, it's possible, but I just... NTA, this sucks. You're not the asshole for tricking him. I'll put it that way. You're a little bit of the asshole to yourself for not trying to dig into the root cause of this issue before getting married, because now you're married. And I get it. You married him with the, I just have to fix this one thing stipulation. That is not a good reason to marry somebody. It's not a good reason to be with anybody either. Thinking I can just change this one thing and everything will be perfect. Doesn't typically work out. I wonder what will happen given no change in this scenario at all. Let's say it keeps going exactly the way that it's going. What happens when they have kids? What food do the kids eat? That's going to be a disagreement. Thus, probably need to go ahead and solve this issue now. But yeah, his argument's gone. He has no idea where that food came from. More disrespect for your wife. He thinks you're getting ingredients out of the garbage behind Costco or some shit. I don't know. Might as well go ahead and hire her as the house chef now. But I'm guessing she's going to be overextending into other job descriptions as well. Just saying.